Hi there, Kevin Furman here with another Clone Wars Wisdom series. We're on episode 5. So if you're not sure what this is all about, check out the beginning of a couple of the other earlier ones. I kind of go into it very quickly. This is just a format where I'm just taking some things from the Clone Wars animated series. They had an opening statement, and I'm just more or less off the cuff evaluating those statements as I go, and I thought I'd just share some thoughts on how I think that could apply to being a better leader, living a better life, and seeing if there's any, really any wisdom in what they're saying, or is it just a statement? So here's the episode 5. All right, so we're in episode 5, and the statement was this: the best confidence builder is experience. Okay, so let's, again, I kind of just, I'll take it. The best confidence builder is experience. So if you're looking to build your confidence, so there's been a number of things that have been experimented about this over the last couple decades, that you build confidence by giving people compliments. So we're going to always compliment, we're always going to say positive things, we're never going to say anything negative. No matter what you do, it's awesome. There's a problem with that because not everything people do is awesome. So it's good, right, to look for things to say to compliment people and be positive. I agree with that, but not at the expense of reality, right? There's a line at which you don't want to cross where it's just you say something nice just because you have to, right? Not because it's deserved. So there's a couple things about this whole thing with confidence, right? How do you gain confidence? And they're getting at it in the statement. You gain confidence, generally speaking, by overcoming challenges. And they're just saying experience. So they're putting in the word experience for overcoming challenges. So I'd have to agree with them. And that you can also gain confidence in doing something repeatedly. Just the same thing over and over and over. Not really necessarily worrying about the result of what you're doing, although you're going to take that into account. And maybe I'll get to that later. But right now, just doing something repeatedly will gain confidence because you know what to expect. That is also a form of experience. So I think it was smart to use experience as opposed to one of those examples I just gave, because it covers both. And there's probably a few others that it could cover as far as what does experience mean. So I would say, in that sense, well worded. So it kind of covers different areas. All right, so experience, right? The other thing about experience is you can learn from your own experience, but you can also learn from the experience of others. You can watch and observe, you can read, you can discuss with a mentor or somebody that you respect and find out what they learned and take that in, take it to heart, right? So it doesn't have to be trial by error experience or, well, see what happens experience. It can be educated experience also. So there's ways to tweak this. I think that's very helpful. And so without making it a big, long, drawn-out conversation, I think it's good to just understand they're being very broad with the statement, and I think that's smart, actually. The other thing, I'm going to go back to confidence, right? The best confidence builder. So they're saying, okay, leave out best, right? Confidence building is experience, or from experience. They're saying the best confidence builder is, okay, great. So if you combine those kind of three things I just said, right? Failing at something. If you take a moment let me explain that for a moment because I don't think I did very well. When you fail at something, you go to do a part of a project and it just doesn't go well, or you go to explain something to someone and they don't understand what you're talking about. It was just a failure in communication. Whatever, right? You didn't get the sale. What you communicated didn't get across and people are confused. You attempted to fix something and it didn't get fixed, right? There's lots of different ways that things don't work out. So it depends on the situation, of course. But let's just say you fail at something. Okay. If you stop for a moment, evaluate what happened. What was the cause of the failure? Not just I was. That's not helpful, right? Just blaming yourself, just say, well, I'm a failure, but that's not helping. So you don't want to fall into that trap. And that's easy to do when it's, as the stakes get higher, it's easy to kind of really, pile the blame on yourself. That's not that helpful. What you want to do, and most entrepreneurs that are successful, most business owners, etc., will tell you they've had lots of failures, but what they did was they took a moment. Okay, that didn't work. That didn't work the way I expected. What happened? Like, what actually happened here? What can I learn from it? And then next time, take what you learn and go for it, right? Also, just working hard is part of that. Get up, work hard. Just get up, keep going. All right, so there's that, the failure part. I just want to address that it's about the learning part. And usually we learn a lot more from when we fail than when we have a success. It's super easy to have a success, high five, we're awesome, great, and move on. And you don't necessarily evaluate, well, what did make it a success? So really, in one way of thinking about success, if you will, or confidence building, I'm going to put those together. I'm going to tie those together right now because we're talking about confidence building. But having success with that is having a mindset, I'm going to learn from the outcome. It's not whether I like the outcome, whether it's the one I wanted, I'm going to learn from it. That actually is one of the best ways you can gain momentum, gain knowledge, and sort of propel yourself even faster forward if you just think, I'm going to learn from whatever happens. You can sidestep the blaming part pretty quickly if you keep your brain there. It takes practice, but it's very, very helpful. That's a little hint. I'm going to throw that's an extra on the side sort of part of this whole idea. All right, and then the second one of doing something over and over and over. So I've got a lot of training in the music field as a performer, and what I can say is one advantage I had, if there were any that I had, I was willing to just do basic things a lot until I felt like I knew what I was doing. Because most of the time when I was learning, I knew I was behind. I started late in my life as far as training to be a musician, so I knew I was really far behind most people that decided to do that. So I had to work hard. I knew it, and it wasn't a problem. I just knew, hey, I'm behind. I gotta catch up. That was it. And so I just did, hey, I need to do, I don't know if you know much about music, but scales and patterns and things in music. So, okay, let's plan. Let's plan a lot. What do I gotta do next? All right, what's the next one? What do I gotta master? What tempos do we need to go? Just etc. Right? So take the advice of my professors. This was during schooling, which got my degree, and I was studying this. So, tell me what to do. All right. Now, was I perfect at that? No, but I generally went after things pretty hard because I knew if I wasn't at a certain level of performance ability, I wouldn't be able to be called for work and therefore would not be able to support a family. So, luckily it all worked out great. Nothing to worry about. It was really good. So there's so my point is doing something over and over and over. In my example, just that example of that part of my life gave me right now gives me a ton of confidence that I can walk into a situation, and if they say, hey, can you do this thing, I can tell them, yeah, I can. Or, no, that's not my area of expertise, that's not what I do, but I can do this. Right? And I'm not going to try to tell people I can't do things I can't do. That's another thing that sort of is in part of the way in there is not to be very honest about where you are, right? Evaluate where you are and then repeatedly do things to gain the skills you're looking for. Okay, so that's the second one. And then that third one of learn through the experience side, right? That's two ways to gain experience. The third one is you can do that all yourself. You can do it trial by error, just try stuff and see what happens. You can read about it or watch videos online about something and learn from someone else who is an expert or seemingly an expert in the field. See if it makes sense. Try it on, right? And even a better one is to find someone that has accomplished what you want to accomplish and sit down with them, offer to buy them lunch or something, right? And just say, look, I want to learn how to do this. How do I get good at this thing that you've done? I want to do that. Tell me what to do, right? Take that in and use that as a guide for your gaining of experience. which will also give you confidence because you know it's kind of a proven track record, right? So if you want a result, follow somebody who's done it. Okay, so those are my thoughts about this whole thing. Is again, the best confidence builder is experience. I think as usual, I kind of dove around and got a little bit deeper than what it says, but definitely I would agree with this, right? I wouldn't think it necessarily is going to change the world as far as leadership is concerned, but it does point to a thing about leadership, right? If you don't have the confidence that you need, well, then you need to gain that experience. So how do you gain the confidence? So how do you do that? Well, experience. Okay, learn from your mistakes, move forward, learn from a mentor, etc. Right? If there's something you got to do, there's tons of research you can do online, or reading, or watching, whatever. So, kind of in a how-to way, so to speak, of being a better leader, this definitely applies. I think it's good, and the way it's worded is very broad, so it does cover a lot of things that are very helpful. So, nice job on this one. I would agree with this and say, yes, this does help us be a better leader and really live a better life. So, thanks a lot. We'll see you next time around.